Hello everybody. In today's video, I get back on the Fred Henry build. The hood, see what's done with the body, and see where the chassis is at. So if you want to see that and more, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSC family and welcome back to my bench. So today in this video I'm going to get back on the Fred Henry build. Yeah, I know it's taking forever, but it's one of those stalled projects where you get a little frustrated or burnt out on it, and you set it aside and do a bunch of other things, right? But it's time to bring it back out and get this thing done. It's not that far off. So here we've got the hood. I've got some sanding to do under here. I filled in some of the grooves and stuff where you were able to cut it out if you wanted to, things like that. But anyways, this here, I'll get this all primed up and ready to go. Now in the last video, the chassis was all red, but I had a whole bunch of detail painting to do on it. The engine was painted blue, but again, had to do a bunch of detail painting and stuff on that. And the wheels, the rims were painted red, but that was as far as it went. And the body was almost ready for primer. I still had to build a couple little things and fine detail a few things like that. So let me show you where I'm at with the body first. Body is primed, right? It's been final sanded. It is ready for paint. So I'll give it a wipe down with some rubbering alcohol. But before I primed it, I shaved the back bumpers a bit and smoothed them in. I also built the whole front bumper lip. Now there's going to be a couple support rods in here and stuff like that, but that there will be put on after it's been painted. Headlights have been filled in. The tail lights, I'm going to use a piece of aluminum and make it look like it's riveted on. And then same thing with the side of the bumpers. There'll be an aluminum patch there. All right. But this is ready for paint. So the first thing I'm going to be doing on this is hitting the bottom half with silver. Just like the Dale truck, or well, the Dale car, I guess, would be silver on the bottom and black on top. So that there, I'll hit that with the silver. And then I'll figure out where the silver stripe needs to stop. And then I'll mask it off. And then paint the rest black. Once I get the black on, I'll probably hit at least one coat of clear so I can start doing the decals. So that's the way that's looking so far. Now, if you remember, the chassis was red, and yeah, I had to start detailing stuff. Well, I have. And pipes have been painted, seats been put in. I made seat belts for it. I'm not sure. Oh, string. I started tying string on here on the roll pads so that it looks like it's actually been tied down. So I'll continue on that. The rims themselves have been painted, so have the tires. Now I got a couple more markings I want to put on the tires and stuff. The underneath is almost done. I got to do up the drive shaft and a couple rubber belts on the drive shaft alternator. Exhaust is mostly put on. I got a couple pieces I need to make. And then the engine, if I can get it out of there. On, out, there we go. Yeah, there we go. The engine, I wrapped the headers. So I wrapped the headers. I've got all my oiling pipes on, from the oil pump. All the pulleys are on. The belts are on. Touch up a couple things. I got one belt that's coming off a little bit. This one here, I purposely broke this one. You won't notice it, and I can glue it after, but I purposely broke it so that I can actually get it in and out of the engine compartment because they're just a little too wide. So I needed to break this one so I can get it in and out. Now I got some touch-up painting. I got carbon fiber on the valve covers. I still got to paint things like the distributor, the carburetor, just little things, but that's there is pretty much ready to go as well. And that does fit right down in there, like so. Just like that. Now you see, like I said, that's why I broke this one here, so that I can actually get it past everything. All right, so that's where that's at. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the engine finished detailed and get that set in permanently. Finish up all my ties on the roll bars and the padding. And then that there will be pretty much done. And I'm going to go get this painted. So once I get this into final clear, I will come back. I'll show you what it looks like. Then we're going to start the decals on it and put another coat of clear on that. And this thing is getting pretty darn close to being completely done. So I will see you in a little bit. Okay, everybody, just a quick little update here before I do more painting. I'm going to show you what I had to do. Now, I'm using the Dale Earnhardt decal set that I ordered, right? So there's these. And then there's this one here. It's got the GM Goodwrench over here and stuff like that. Definitely, they're good decals, but they're not all separate. This is one big decal sheet, so you actually have to cut as close as you can to each decal that you want, right? And I don't remember exactly where I got them. If I can figure out where I got them from, I got them off of eBay, I know that, but I'll leave a link for where I got them if I can figure out where I got them. But as you see, there's some already cut out. And unfortunately, I thought that the red line decal that goes across the body all the way around, you know, like above the silver stripe, I thought it was straight on this, and I went and painted the silver, right? Oh, I primed it all again, gave it its final prime, and then I went and sprayed the bottom half silver. But when I realized that that line wasn't straight, I couldn't just mask a straight line. So I actually had to give it a quick coat of clear and then put those decals on, right? Oops. Put those decals on all the way around. Okay. And I had to put them on so that I knew where I could mask. And as you can see, if it was a straight line, it would have been easy. All right. But since I've got this little dip here where the number 3 goes, I had to put these on so now I can mask right to the top of that line. Right. Very carefully. And I can spray the black. So that's where I'm at. I just thought I'd show you that before I do the black. And then I can do the final clears and stuff. And then we're good to go. So I'm going to mask that up and spray the black. Once I get the clear coat on, then I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. And as you can see, the truck is now nice and shiny. All the decals have been put on. So to rephrase what I said earlier about these are good decals, well, yes and no. They are printed very sharply, very cleanly. They do come off the paper decently, but they are very, very thin. And they can give you quite a bit of trouble. Now, in saying that, something else is the silver on the 3 and the reddish orange line around the 3 are 2 separate pieces. All right, the silver is printed on white, and obviously the red line is printed on clear. Right. But as you can see, there is no longer a dip here. And as you can tell, on the real car, on Dale's car too, the number is outlined with red, but this actual line down here is orange. Now, it's not quite this orange. It's more of a little more redder than this, but not quite as red as the rest of the stuff, right? But the reason it's a straight line now is because these decals don't stick worth a damn, okay? And what I had to do, or when I put them on, as you saw, I went to mask it, went to adjust a piece of masking, and pulled a good chunk of it right off. So once that happened, I ended up having to take all of it off. And I have these fingernail tapes, whatever you want to call them. They're for decorating women's fingernails, right? I got the rainbow stuff, all kinds of things. And I just happen to have this orange. So basically, since I now was doing a straight line, because I had enough room above to put the 3 without having to make that dip, I just marked a straight line with masking tape, painted the black, put the decals and the sticker on, and clear coated it. So that's why it looks the way it is now, and that's what it is. So the rest of it looks pretty good. Now that this one here did silver a bit, and again, that's because it just didn't want to stick nicely. I do have a little bit of cleanup. I had some trash in the airbrush or something, and I've got fingerprints all over it now. But I painted the front lip green, bright green. The grill is, silver, number 3 there. GM Goodwrench at the back, number 3 in the back corner. Now I still have to do the tin on the corners. I got all the little markings that need to go on, like the jacking point on both sides need to be painted on. The bright green for the filler, silver for the overflow. Once I get that, I think rubber. I may paint black rubber around the edge here. I'm not going to worry about the back one, but I got to put my windows in after that. And yeah, underneath I left the firewall silver, flat black underneath with a little bit shiny around the edge, silver on the cap over top of the radiator and stuff like that. But yeah, everything turned out pretty damn good. Consider it. So yeah, once I get that stuff done, then it's on to final assembly. And I do have the engine glued in. I did wire up the engine. I still got to paint the carburetor, and I've got a chrome air breather that's going to go on there. Once the body is on, then I can put my filler and vent tube in that goes from here to the body. I've got those made up. I'm just going to paint up the steering wheel, and it's just going to get set down somewhere. Like I'll put the steering shaft in, and then the steering wheel, maybe I'll hang it on the dash or up off of the rail here. I've got a window net that I'm going to make. And other than that, we're good to go. Put my drive shaft in and touch up paint down here. My 2 pieces exhaust that I've got to put in. And that's it. So that'll be all in the next video for the final. So with all that, let me know in the comments what you think. This is my rendition of what I think Dale Earnhardt would have driven late 70s, early 80s if he was driving a GM Goodwrench NASTRUCK. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Give me a follow on my Instagram and my Facebook group. Thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it is free, so please could you hit that button, hit that bell if you don't want to miss out on any videos. And with all that being said, no matter what you're building or who you're building it to appreciate, just do it your way. And until next time, later.